everybody. Welcome to Busy Living Sober with Elizabeth Chance. It's episode 323. 323 with Roos. Now, Roos, tell me how to say your last name again. I already forgot it. It's so early.
Van Monsiou.
Van Monsiou. Roos van Monsiou from the Netherlands is here, everybody. But before we start our podcast, I want to thank SoberLink. We need to talk about alcohol recovery in the workplace. Talking about sobriety and proving it to your employer can be so difficult. And our friends at SoberLink want to help. If you need a reliable way to present documented proof of sobriety to a boss or a loved one, SoberLink can help. SoberLink is a high-tech portable breathalyzer system that uses facial recognition technology to verify identity. It has unique sensors to ensure that no other air sources are being used and sends results directly to your specific context. So there's no questioning whether or not you took the test and whether or not you altered the reporting. This is why SoberLink's remote alcohol monitoring system is considered the gold standard. Being in recovery from alcohol does not define the future of your career. Let SoberLink help. Learn more about SoberLink and request an exclusive $50 promo code by visiting www.soberlink.com/BLS for Busy Living Sober. Oh my gosh. Roos, I'm so excited. So I want to tell everybody. So I met Roos. I am taking, as all my listeners know, I've been taking a wellness course from A Wellness Revolution, and it's based in the Netherlands. And Roos is one of the instructors. And I found her very interesting, very intriguing. The first time I really delved into what you were doing, Roos, was when you were in your kitchen. And
Yes.
So wellness is a lot about food, right? And I believe that recovery and I don't even know if you're recovering from alcoholism or whatever you're recovering from. Food is like the basis. Would you agree of like the foundation?
Oh, absolutely. Busy. Food is actually the foundation of everything, of your health and also your happiness, but also of how your mind works, and how your mind works has an effect on, well, if you're recovering and how do you feel. So food is really the foundation, definitely.
And how did you get into how did you become a student of A Wellness Revolution?
Oh, it's an interesting story. I always tell my clients now. So I'm now for a couple of years now a health and wellness coach with my own practice just outside of Amsterdam. I do online and offline coaching, but I started out, well, I always go back to the story. When I was a little girl, I loved to go and play in the woods and play Little Witch. So I would go out there and with my little stuff, which I got from my mother's kitchen, I would make potions and lotions and soups and all kinds of, well, stuffy things to, well, in a natural way, heal everyone around me. My teddy bear I took along with me, my little brother, the fairies around me. So I was always busy with, well, helping other people heal in a natural way. So I thought, I want to become a doctor. I want to work with Doctors Without Borders, go to Africa and help women and children with their health. I happen to be very not good at physics and science. So my dad suggested, well, why don't you study law? It's always very handy. And I started with law and psychology because I was attracted to the psychology part a bit more, and ended up finishing doing law. So I have a master's degree in law, but long story short, I ended up doing something as a child I always loved to do, to help other people in a natural, holistic way as a health and wellness coach. So we look at health from a holistic point of view. And my first interest was healthy cooking. I love to cook. I used to have an exclusive private guest house when I was 26. I think it was a very unusual combination. So I was cooking for my guests over there. I took all the cooking courses, even at Le Cordon Bleu in Paris, where you can imagine. So my love for cooking was profoundly there. And then the whole medicinal part of cooking, of, wow, if you actually eat this, then it has that kind of effect on your body. And so the combination of you are what you eat. That's how I started. When that struck in my mind, I was really surprised about that. Food is not just something you like or dislike or you need because you're hungry. It really becomes you. And so I thought, okay, if I want my body to become, well, the best version of myself, then I should pay attention to my food as well. So I always say I go for quality in life with everything I do, with the people who are my friends, the conversations I have, and therefore also the food I let into my body and the thoughts I let into my mind. So I'm a very aware person. And then you asked, how did you become a health and wellness coach? Well, I think when I was 39, I think you can say I had a midlife crisis for sure. That I just came back from sailing, a year sailing with my family. And I always say, if you have a little crack in your relationship, do not go on a boat for 11 months. And coming back from sailing, I thought, okay, I needed to go my own way. But to leave your family or actually the husband and go your own way, there was many things I was so uncertain about, but one thing I knew for sure, that I always wanted to help people with their health in a natural way. So that's my decision to, okay, there are so many things I don't know in life, but one thing I know, this is my original passion. And so I joined the Wellness Revolution and became a student and later on a teacher in healthy nutrition. And what I do, mentor and senior coach, etc.
I love that. Because do you know what I believe? I think it's through the pain is that we grow, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And so many of us, at least me included until recently, we sit in it. We sit in it like,
yeah.
Oh, woe is me. My husband's the worst, or my kids are driving me crazy.
Yeah.
And we don't take that action. And
Yeah.
you took the action and you registered. And now you've delved into food and like even your blood types. I mean, we were learning about how knowing what your blood type. How many people know what their blood types are? Unless you're like really donating blood all the time to the here in the US, the Red Cross. I had no idea.
Yeah, and the sort of blood type is really important for your whole digestive system. And there's a huge connection between your digestive system and your thoughts. And for instance, if people come into my practice and they have low moods or are even, depressed or all those things, the first thing I look at is digestive system. How is your gut flora? How is, how do you digest your food? And because the healthier your gut is, then, the healthier your head is actually. And your blood group, your blood type, has immediately an effect on how you digest food. So if you're okay, I can explain a little bit about the history of blood typing.
Please.
That is the first people on Earth who were walking around here. They were getting their food from hunting. And that was their first food source. So they were blood type O. And later on, humanity developed and they sort of settled down, looked for different kind of food sources. They start growing things like grains, etc. And then blood type A came along. And later on, humanity developed again, and we had the nomads who were with the herds on the fields, and they were able to, first of all, digest then the meat, and second of all, also the dairy. That was blood type B. And much more later came blood type AB, sort of an enigma. No one knows why they existed, only 1,000 years old. So the majority of the people on Earth is O and A. And 7% is a B, 2 to 5% is AB. Very rare if you're AB. What has this blood typing to do with your gut? So if you're an O, you are designed originally to sometimes eat red meat. So if you're an O and that's your design and your DNA is like that, but you decided because for all kinds of reasons I really respect to become a vegetarian or a vegan, there are some kind of glitches in your system, in your gut system. And of course, when you're young and when you're healthy, your body can deal with this. But I always say, I work with people to become optimally healthy and well, not just not sick. They say, well, not sick. It doesn't mean if you're not sick or doesn't have illnesses that you're optimally healthy. So if you want to really improve your whole health and your gut health, it's interesting to look at the blood types. For instance, if you're an A, you're the born vegetarian. And a blood type A, it's very good for blood type A to get its protein sources from white meat. So turkey, chicken, but also a lot of fish. So again, if you're blood type A and you are, well, having steaks on the barbecue the whole time, there's some little glitches in your system as well. And I'm a B, so I'm very happy because I can digest dairy and I can digest the meat very well. So some foods for your blood type are very beneficial. A lot of it is neutral, and some are actually toxic. And it has to do with little thingies in the food called lectins. And if they're poking holes in your in the membrane of your gut, yes or no? Perhaps you heard of leaky gut syndrome. Mm-hmm. Well, we want our gut and our intestinal wall to be as healthy without all kinds of little holes in there. So what can you do to heal your gut? And therefore, again, your brain and how your thoughts are and how you feel and what kind of emotions you have could be interesting to look at blood typing to eat. And what I see in my practice is that sometimes I have people who are so low in energy. And I said, okay, what are you eating? And well, yeah, my husband, he's a vegetarian and I recently joined him. I said, what kind of blood type are you? Well, yeah, I'm O. I said, well, let's check out if you have deficiencies. I've got very cool scanning devices so I can see if they have, for instance, a B12 deficiency or iron. But then I said, well, you might want to eat some, meat occasionally. And then they do that and they're like, oh, I feel so much better. And I always think with food, there's only one truth out there. And the only truth out there, because one says you need to eat vegan or vegetarian or paleo, or whatever. The only truth out there is your own beautiful body. So listen to your body. And if you eat meat, go for quality meat, like grass-fed, organic, whatever you have in America. So
yeah. Well, we actually get other meat. We get Wagyu and all that stuff from
Japan. Oh, yeah. I don't eat Wagyu, way too expensive with these cows who are massaged.
I know, it's crazy. So when it comes to, do you ever deal with people that have had a drinking issue?
Yeah, sure. And what I see is that there's a whole combination of why someone has a drinking issue. And the beautiful thing is that as a health and wellness coach, I am trained to look at the bigger perspective and to see what is the reason why. And I always say I'm solving health puzzles. Yes, I look at the physical part. What kind of deficiencies do you have? For instance, with my devices, I can see if someone's liver is very fatty, which is a lot of the case with alcohol, too much alcohol. So I work on what can we do to help the liver recover and detox. But then I also look at, okay, what is the reason why you're drinking? A lot of people, they're trying to fill a void, an emotional emptiness inside of them, and or not to feel or to numb themselves. And I see that in my family as well. We have people who have, well, could we say alcohol problems or addictions? I guess if they took the test on your side, they would be alcoholics, yeah. Because it's much easier to be an alcoholic and ignoring it, or say, no, I just drink for social. It's not me.
It's so true. And that one thing that, at least for me, especially, like since I haven't had a drink in over 16 years, but I still love those sweets. I love those sweets. And I am finding alternatives. They tend to be more expensive, like we were just talking about, right? Wagyu meat, like buying something that's made with dates instead of with flour, correct?
Yeah, sure. If we look at, well, all kinds of addictions, and sugar addiction is a very big addiction, and alcohol is being recognized in the body as sugar. So that's why they say if you drink red or white wine, you can just, it's like putting some butter on your hips in a sugar idea. But there are some tips and tricks to, first of all, get rid of your sugar addiction. And it's, again, I always say to yourself, if you're going to experiment with, okay, I want to change my lifestyle, I want to get rid of my sugar addiction, it's always an invitation to yourself to try new things instead of, no, I don't like this, no, I don't like that, to have an open mindset. And also, what I talk to my clients when we have coaching conversations, look at yourself with compassion and empathy, because so many times we look back at ourselves of decisions we made with a sort of judging way. Why did I do that in the past? But if you look at yourself with compassion and empathy, also like, okay, I understand you were feeling like that, and therefore you needed a sugar. But let's look at yourself from a future perspective. And I always do a meditation with my clients to invite the future self into your own power circle. So, and that is such a powerful, it's such a powerful tool, which every listener of you can use it yourself. Because you make a decision, for instance, to stop sugar, to stop alcohol, but there will be times that you will be drawn back to the old situation. And for instance, as you said, Thanksgiving is coming and Christmas is coming. So what could be a good solution is, for instance, on the day of Thanksgiving, have a moment for yourself, take a deep breath in, close your eyes, and then imagine around you a power circle. And imagine yourself as the person who has said no to the alcohol or the sugar or the whatever, the already successful version of yourself, the way you want to be. And look at that person. What is she wearing? What is she, how is she walking? What is her posture? Invite that person into your power circle. Give each other the hand and say, okay, we're going to do this together. You're not alone. We can do this together. And that is such a powerful tool because, first of all, you're not alone. And that successful part of you is already inside of you, because there are parts of you where you're already in a flow and super successful. Perhaps you're a very good mom or very good coworker or a very good spouse. And that successful person is part of you. Anyway, so that is a mindset kind of tool to help you, and very practical, because I always say I'm super practical. If you have a sugar craving, cranberry juice, unsweetened organic cranberry juice, is a lifesaver. So dilute it with water. And for instance, you have a big bottle of water, and 1/8 is the unsweetened, preferably organic cranberry juice. And if you have this urge, oh, I want a piece of chocolate right now, you take a couple of those zips, pretty sour, gone is your craving for sugar. So if you have that at hand with you, carry it around through whole Thanksgiving, then or a whole Christmas, super handy. And the good thing is, with the cranberry juice, it flushes out all your toxins. So you're detoxing at the same time. Super handy.
And it's beautiful in a glass, right? It would look
Yes.
beautiful in your
Yes.
stemware. To have that in
Yeah.
your stemware. Did you hear that, everybody? You just go get an organic cranberry juice, non-sugar, no sugar, no sugar, no sugar.
And dilute it with water.
And dilute it with water. Do not get the ocean spray for all those Americans out there because it's loaded with sugar. That is such a great tip. And I love that you talked about how it is our thinking. It's our thinking. And that meditation was absolutely beautiful because so many people can feel like they're alone, even though they're in a whole group full of everybody with
Yes.
all these people.
And you can easily feel as a failure. And therefore I said, please look at yourself with empathy, in compassion. And I had to go through a surgery, I think a month ago, more than a month ago, about something I decided, 10 years ago. And it was easily for me to say, why did I did that 10 years ago? And I just looked back at myself on the evening before surgery, going back to the Rose I was 10 years ago, saying, listen, due to all the circumstances, I understand why you did this. And it's okay, but I'm a different Rose now. And I touched myself with love. And that is so important because we're so judgmental, and especially with addictions, like, why am I not be able to do this? I am such a failure. But it's the whole mindset. And actually, I'm gonna make this into a free meditation which people can download from my site, so it will be there very soon.
Well, I'm excited. So everybody that's out there, if you guys are listening to this and you want to reach Rose, the nice thing about technology today, we're talking on Zoom. You can be anywhere. And she offers this coaching and she's amazing. She has, oh, you should hear her in the kitchen when she talks about recipes that you can make, especially the overnight oats. I found that so easy. And that is something that I would never have done. So I am really grateful that I have met you through this process. It's been such a joy. And I'm going to have your information. So if you are interested in reaching out to Rose and talking to her more, and as you can hear, she's very calming. You're very, very calming. You have a very calm voice.
Thank you. And it is really, well, as you say, Busy, the technology these days makes it possible to, well, have a health coach on the other side of the world. And so, yes, I do online coaching, but also, just one-on-one sessions, because sometimes it's so important that someone who is completely out of your whole social circle or your town or whatever, just to listen and well, touch yourself and the other person with empathy and compassion and love, but also very practical. What can you eat? What is a healthy snack? Sugar addictions, what is good proper food combining so you're not completely bloated coming holidays. So yeah, I do all those things.
Well, I'm really excited because coming into the new year, which we all will be pretty soon here, and everybody has these wonderful, this is what I'm going to do in 2023. I'm going to have these expectations set for myself and goals. And I think you'll be a great addition to anybody's team because, as you mentioned, we all need a team, right? We need a team.
Yes, we need, especially we women. Of course, I know your listeners will be men and women together as well, but it's so important to stick together and to support each other. And you can't become, I would say, the healthiest version of yourself just by yourself. We all need someone, and reaching out for help is it's not a sign of, oh, I can't do it alone. But no, we all need each other. It's really important.
I say that all the time. Do you understand? That's
Yes.
like the biggest thing. I'm always saying to my listeners, reach out. You don't have to be alone, and you're not a failure by needing help.
Yes.
We all need help.
We all do. And give yourself permission to be perfectly imperfect. You don't have to be perfect. And I think if you really own that feeling, because the outside world looks pretty perfect, especially on social media, But that's just, you will only make it more difficult for yourself if you try to compare. And you are you, and you're unique, and you're beautiful. And also, your body is beautiful the way it is. But I'm only helping it to make it a bit more healthy.
I love that. I love a story from you. I envision you in your little out in somewhere in Holland with your little like going out back and making your witches potions and the fairies everywhere. And now where you are, it's such a good thing.
Yeah, my brother yesterday said, well, actually, Roos is a professional witch now.
Well, I love it. Thank you so much for coming on. And to all my listeners, happy Thanksgiving. Be safe. I love that idea that Roos said, get that cranberry juice, add it to the water, put a little lemon in there or a little lime, right?
Yeah, right. And it looks nice. It's very good for you. You will flush all your toxins out and you will stay away from the sweets. Super practical.
Okay, I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for coming on. And thank you everybody for listening. And you can always find me. I'll be back next week. And until then, keep getting busy living sober and reach out for help. Reach out. If you want to learn more about Roos, there will be all the information in my description on busylivingsober.com. Or if you're on YouTube, there's a little bio. Go check it out. You're going to see Roos there. And again, thanks, Roos, for coming on. Happy birthday. Everybody say happy birthday to Roos. Tomorrow's her birthday. Thank you, Roos.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.